What if I told you the most trusted man on Wall Street was secretly orchestrating the biggest financial fraud in history, right under the nose of the government, the media, and even his own family? This is the shocking true story of Bernie Madoff, the mastermind behind a $65 billion Ponzi scheme that left tens of thousands of victims devastated and forever changed the way we view financial security. Bernie Madoff wasn't some shadowy outsider. He was an insider, a respected name, a former chairman of the NASDAQ. Born in 1938 in Queens, New York, Madoff launched his investment firm in the 1960s with just $5,000. Over the years, he built a reputation as a financial wizard, offering his exclusive clients steady, seemingly magical returns that never dipped, even when the market crashed. Celebrities, charities, banks, and everyday retirees all trusted him with their life savings. His strategy was so secretive that clients felt lucky just to be included. But it was all a lie. Madoff wasn't investing any money at all. Instead, he was running a classic Ponzi scheme, paying older investors with funds from newer ones. He sent out fake account statements showing gains that didn't exist, and no one questioned it, because no one wanted to believe the golden goose was too good to be true. Over decades, Madoff managed to defraud investors of an estimated $65 billion, not just in principal investments, but in fictitious returns that never existed. He lived lavishly, buying mansions, yachts, and art, all while maintaining the image of a quiet, ethical businessman. Even the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, failed to catch him, despite several red flags and detailed whistleblower reports, including repeated warnings from financial analyst Harry Markopolos, who once described Madoff's returns as mathematically impossible. So how did it all collapse? In 2008, during the global financial crisis, panicked investors rushed to withdraw their money. Madoff couldn't cover the redemptions, his house of cards was crumbling. On December 10th, he confessed the truth to his sons who worked at his firm. The next day, they turned him in to the FBI. "It's all one big lie," Madoff reportedly said. The world was stunned. The news broke headlines globally. Bernie Madoff, one of Wall Street's most respected figures, was actually the architect of the biggest financial scam in human history. The impact was catastrophic. Entire families lost their life savings. Major charitable foundations folded overnight. Some victims even took their own lives. The fallout was so massive that a special trustee, Irving Picard, was appointed to recover lost funds. As of today, more than $14 billion has been returned to victims, but many will never fully recover. In 2009, Madoff pleaded guilty to 11 federal felonies, including securities fraud, wire fraud, money laundering, and perjury. He was sentenced to 150 years in federal prison. His wife, Ruth Madoff, claimed she had no knowledge of the fraud, though her public reputation never recovered. One of their sons, Mark, died by suicide in 2010 on the second anniversary of Bernie's arrest. The other, Andrew, died of cancer in 2014. In the end, the scheme didn't just destroy financial portfolios, it shattered lives and families, including Madoff's own. But beyond the personal tragedy lies a greater question. How could this happen? How could regulators, banks, accountants, and investors all be fooled for decades? The Madoff scandal wasn't just a story about greed. It was a mirror reflecting the blind trust, willful ignorance, and failure of due diligence that runs through the financial system. It exposed massive gaps in regulatory oversight and led to widespread changes in how investment firms are monitored and audited. The SEC, embarrassed by its failure, promised reforms. But the real lesson here is timeless. If something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Madoff's victims weren't foolish, they were deceived by a man who seemed to represent everything that was right about the system. And that's exactly why his crime hit so hard. So, what do you think was the most shocking part of this story? Was it the sheer size of the scam, or the fact that so many smart people fell for it? Let us know in the comments. And if you found this story eye-opening, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the biggest frauds and scandals in history. For your next watch, check out our video on the top 5 financial scams you've never heard of. Thanks for watching, and remember, always ask questions before you trust your money to anyone.